So, my husband came home last night and it was great. It was a while that I had seen him. Probably, yeah, at least 10 days or so, less than that. But oh my gosh, it was cool to see him. And it felt like that week flew by so quickly. And I think I got one little tiny hive right up here and that was it. Nothing crazy. So I didn't have any immune system activation. Um, I slept very well. And I made a really good dinner last night. I made a bunch of the chimichangas that you get from the frozen Tina's burritos, and then I added some salsa, cream sauce, and on top of it with butter, and then a bunch of cheese. And I cooked it, and it was so good. Oh my God, it was so good. So yeah, so it was nice having him home. And he's not going to work tomorrow, which is good, because we have to see what happens tomorrow. So I noticed a few things coming through yesterday before he got home, and that was the system warning us that there's going to be weird flashing lights 20 minutes prior to the eclipse and 20 minutes after. And I know when certain frequencies hit your eyes, like I felt like my eyes were going blind and crazy and weird when I was out there at Walmart. And I was squinting because I was trying to not let too much light come through. And the system was saying, yeah, first of all, don't look at the eclipse. Okay, don't look at it because you have to wear this protective gear. But even then, wearing protective gear is not really protecting you, because then 20 minutes before the eclipse is the weird flashing lights. And that was a warning from one of the meteorologists that are on Facebook. And I'm like, oh, strobe lights, flickering lights, vertigo, nausea, immune system activation, seizures, strokes, holy shit. And I know that when you get exposed to flickering lights that are certain frequencies, they say like for 40 hertz, there could be potential blindness, and it may not happen right away as far as pain and suffering and blindness. It happens days later because you don't have pain receptors in your eyes. That's what's crazy, what's going on. And so I was like, oh my God. That's why I'm like, I have my basement all set up. I have my basement all set up. Give me one. All right, hold on. Give me 1 second. Their AI is being too stupid. Continue. All right. Okay. Yeah, the AI is going through all past posts trying to figure out how to remove stuff. It's crazy, but it's what it is. It's what it is. Remove this notification. Okay. Really? Okay. And so, yeah, the system is warning us. What to do and what not to do. I'm not even going out there. At all. I'm not observing crazy flashing lights that could cause potential irreparable harm in the future. And so I also was focusing on the word AntiChrist. Now, why am I focusing on AntiChrist? Because I have promoted and even shared information from a Yuval Noah Harari, and people think he is the Antichrist, right? Because he might be the next leader of the World Economic Forum. And obviously we know that what's going on with CERN and everything else goes on. I know we're in a major reconfiguration. There's so many things are happening that you have to be aware of. And even though I know that, it's going to be very uncomfortable, it already is for me and so many people, there'll be a lot of death and destruction, and you can't get away from that because that's kind of where we're at right now. There is a silver lining to to Yuval Noah Harari and the World Economic Forum and even CERN. There's a silver lining. What is that? It's finally becoming so strong and aware of indicators. And even if you may not survive because of whatever, at least you made every attempt to do the best you can and be the best you can with the information given with you at the time. Okay? Because again, we're not promised tomorrow. There could be a huge earthquake and a sinkhole. My whole house will go swallow me up. Okay? I don't discount anything like that. But I aim to understand the other side of the story. And so calling anyone the Antichrist when people have already accepted death and destruction through the remedy system, through the surgical system, through their religion, is a little it's more than just disingenuous. It's a little hypocritical. Okay, when you've already accepted death and destruction, and you're taking remedies, and you're smoking your pot, and you're saying that people should die someday, and everyone should get married and have a bunch of children, and all that stuff, you've already have taken life force away from you, given your beliefs. And that was built into all the religions, all the cultures out there, all the belief systems. And so this is so I'm going to read this. The Antichrist and the ocular immune system activation. Yeah, the eclipse and all the weird flashing lights is going to be immune system activation. And some people will not survive immune system activation. The cytokine storms, that will have a delayed effect. Just like when they were swabbing people's noses up here and activating their immune system up here. Oh yeah, it released the demons. That was the beginning. And then the influence of the frequencies. Absolutely. Is that mean and bad and wrong? No, it's what the system had to do. It's what it's going to have to do. People choose. People have chosen. It's crazy. So the Antichrist and ocular immune system activation. Oh boy, I never thought I would cover my perspective of the Antichrist. But now it's better late than never. So everything is about opposites and balancing forces and moralistic dichotomous standpoints, of which justifies bad behaviors and intolerance. We have characterization of opposites and balancing forces such as good and evil, bad, good, healthy and unhealthy, and so on and so forth. Relative to which side you stand on, one could make claims against the opposing teams that the opposing teams could also make claims against them. So what you accuse of others they could accuse you right back of the same thing. The most popular moralistic dichotomous standpoint, or MDS, is calling anyone who balances life with death the Antichrist. This is a biggie for me, given I was raised Jewish, and I know how many view the Jewish people, and it's pretty upsetting to me. A lot of anti-SEMIT yeses. Death must happen in order for life to live on without causing all-out extinction. But who lives and who dies? That is the million-dollar question. Given my background in the Jewish religion and raised by scientists with the Jilly Juice World as my personal platform, I am giving people the choice to save their own life or succumb to the dogmas of eventual death perpetrated by Christians, Jews, atheists, Buddhists, and other energy-type gurus. I am advocating people do not have to die someday, and they need all food, rest, and effective release. I am advocating you do not need to suffer to die, but if you want to live, one must suffer through all their transgressions and repent biologically to potentially develop a new lease on life. I am saying you have the power to make that choice, and you have the power to choose. I have proven that one could potentially surpass the Hayflick limit and develop another immortalized germline cell with a downline of somatic cells that could redouble itself 50 times over, giving you another 50 years or more, or until the climate changes yet again. All right, I added another word in there extra, but it's okay. I have yet to see any Christian even say potentially a person could live beyond 100 years or 115 years. I see many people, even in the Islamic world, say you're supposed to die someday. Let me make sure of something here. Hold on. Okay, let me make sure I'm reading the most current one, because I do a lot of changes, and then sometimes those changes stick, sometimes they don't, la la la. Okay. Okay. I've yet to see. Okay. All right. I've yet to see any Christian even say potentially a person could live beyond 115 years. And I see many people, even in the Islamic world, say you're supposed to die someday. I even see that in the Hindu, Buddhist, Chinese, Japanese religions embrace death and destruction through operations, drugs, and addictions, and even starvation or fasting. People make out anyone who does not embrace Christ as the devil, advocating death and destruction, or AntiChrist, but in all reality, many Christians come off as anti-Christian, embracing death and destruction and calling those who agree with them, like literally agree with them, anti-Christian. You said you are supposed to be raptured and go to heaven. You said Christ died for your sins, therefore death is okay, and you cannot wait to go to heaven and see your Maker. You said that oncology was Christian and what God intended. You said you have no power over your body, mind, and spirit. You do not want to learn anything different aside from whatever Scripture justified your issues of the day. This also goes for Hebrews as well, not just Christians. It boggles the mind. What I have observed in all religions I have studied and even encountered personally through my journey in life. So if you call anyone in the World Economic Forum or me or anyone else who does not claim Christianity as the Antichrist, maybe look deeper, maybe take a deeper look at your own beliefs and intolerances, and maybe you hold both Christianity and anti-Christianity within based upon your belief in death, dying, destruction, and suffering to die, not suffering to live. As far as the eclipse, the system keeps warning people to stay home and stay safe. Don't look at the eclipse unless you wear protective glasses. But there will be weird flashing lights 20 minutes before and after. If you choose to go out and look at the eclipse and even be out there at all, you brought it on yourself. The system kept warning everyone, but those who are so oblivious are also Christian, Jews, Islam, Buddhists, etc. All are choosing to follow the masses. You chose. And so this is from Dr. Patricia Fink in optometry. Our office is receiving calls asking whether we are selling solar eclipse viewing glasses for the eclipse on Monday. I do not, this is what this woman's saying, I do not recommend viewing the solar eclipse at all. Regardless of glasses approved or not, it is not worth the risk. Here are a few points to consider. Solar retinopathy, also known as permanent vision loss, is possible if you view it incorrectly. It is not fixable and can happen quickly without you having immediate symptoms for real. Stacking multiple pairs of regular or in combination with prescription glasses together is not safe, not even close. Don't do it. Your retina, what you see with the back of your eye, does not have a pain receptor, so this won't hurt like a sunburn. However, like a sunburn, the damaging effects often don't show up right away. It could be days later before the damage shows up. Kids and the eclipse, bottom line, just don't. Please don't have them view it. Decades of permanent vision loss is what you're up against. Allow NASA take the pictures of the eclipse and view it safely online or on TV. It is not worth risking your eyesight on this. Sincerely, Patricia Fink. That's a doctor who's saying this. That's a doctor. So if you think Jillian's stupid, bleh, that's a freaking doctor, okay? And so please be advised, April 8th may bring a power outage along with the internet lasting about 10 days. Someone says they pray they're wrong. And yeah. And so, yeah, even in my town, they're setting up solar cameras, solar-powered cameras, security cameras, because I know they're expecting some shit. System is get ready for so much. This is in my town. Oh, yeah, I'm ready for the fucking purge. Okay, what is it? According to 2020 study, 40 hertz flicker can cause a rapid immune signaling response that increases expression of cytokines. Cytokines are key immune signals that recruit microglia. 40 hertz flicker also changes the photophosphorylation of proteins in the NF-κB and MAPK pathways, which are known to regulate cytokine expression. The ocular immune system can be activated by innate immunity, which is the body's early response to pathogens. And that's also crazy-ass light coming through. Oh, man. Flicker, vertigo, rapid defense processes, all that stuff causing imbalances, nausea, disorientation. That's why I'm saying, that's what they're saying. Don't drive right afterwards and you should be driving during, but you know how people are. And then they said weird source of light. There will be some odd visual effects caused by what will seem like a weird source of light starting 20 minutes before and after the solar eclipse. A Northeast Ohio astronomer explains why he won't drive during the total solar eclipse. And you know, people are going to do that. They're not going to see this information, or they're just not going to believe it. And I said, Lucifer, bringer of light. Oh yeah, we're doing some Luciferian stuff. But that's the thing. That people don't realize that the system is trying to tell you, they're trying to warn you. People are like, oh no, I'm doing whatever the hell I want. You see that all over Facebook. They're warning you. People are going like, yeah, whatever. They're just, yeah, it's crazy what's going on. Too much light is deadly. Do not let the darkness fool you. Weird source of light. I post that again about that. Reminder, stay home and stay safe. There is nowhere safer than your home because you don't know where these earthquakes are going to occur and what's going to happen. You don't know anything. So you have a go bag ready, a tank full of gas, water and fuel and food, and just hope for the best and listen to indicators. Okay? And so there was an earthquake, I remember back in the 89 earthquake, and we seem to be repeating the 80s, but the bad part of the 80s now. So, I don't know, but today is the last day. Tomorrow is D-Day. Nobody is marked safe as far as the eclipse. You might think you're an observer or a non-player character. You're very much involved. Alex Jones said, you're on Prison Planet. There's no escape. Make sure you're in a safe place to ride out the storm, and it will be both cytokine storm and whatever storm is out there. Okay? And so, what else? Oh yeah, Medusa. That's what I'm saying. I knew just through allegory. When they want you to look, when you have the Netflix video that says, don't look up, and then people are saying, oh, look up. Go look at the solar eclipse. And they have a whole mass ritual around that. And then I'm thinking about Medusa. Don't look at her, because don't look at her in her eye because she'll turn you into stone. Yeah. So, you know, at this point, it's too late for a lot of people. Some of you are going to be succumbing to this stuff. Some of you will listen to what I'm saying. There could be a big earthquake in 89, all this stuff, CERN, all that stuff. It's just, at this point, it's just too late. We're at the 11th hour. And, you know, Jim Cantori will be on the scene. Okay, he deals with death and destruction. Okay, the weather underground. Okay. And so earthquakes, eclipse, Exodus, 48. I mean, come on. A state of emergency, 1 million people expected at Niagara Falls for the solar eclipse. Yeah. Yeah, and then when they're going to blame the COVID, VACCINE for injuries and all that stuff. So when the new yeah, it's whatever. There's nothing you can do. I mean, at this point, I've broke everything down. I did the bottom-up approach. Some people think from the top-down approach, authority says this, and they say this, and then that's all they believe. I come from the bottom-up. 0 equals ULF, ultra low frequency, magic, invisible energy, force, attract, repel particles. And so 1 is 1 particle, mom. Okay, if you want to deal with parents, that's a plus or a positive. 2 is 2 particles, dad, and negative. 3 is offspring, adaptive or maladaptive. To survive entropy and thermodynamics, 1 must eat all food and release effectively. 1 must be aware of climate change and all the distractions making you deny and even resist climate change, which is why aggressive aging, turbo cancers, and died suddenlies happen. Okay? And so, anyways, yeah. And the answer is in the food, and the problem's in your shit. So release the shit, embrace the food. But you know how people do? They embrace their shit, and they release the food. They don't eat food, and they just basically live off all their pathogens. And that's what's going on. And so I narrowed everything down. And so if you're afraid of food, and you're saying all food is poison, and you're keeping your shit inside because you're taking remedies to constrict every single vessel, even your own gut, you brought it on yourself. At the 11th hour, I finally completed my whole project. I've done all the research. I've wrapped everything up from POT to constricted blood vessels that are correlative to constricted intestines. Yeah, it's done. You guys will figure it out, or you won't. Good luck. Bye.